Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where our in-game polling system is terrible, but at least it brings about more positive change for its respective community than SCOTUS. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I am Michael. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Welcome to the Xpwaste podcast, like Oxie said. We talk about old school RuneScape. We talk about the news, things happening in the game. We are very likely to get off on tangents, but buckle up because it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're not new around here, welcome back. Happy to have you. I'm training agility. Didn't think that was going to happen this soon.
Let's go, baby. He's on the grind.
I know. I've committed in my brain to at least an hour or 100 laps of any respective course every day. And I've committed to that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try and see if that works out because agility is not something I want to leave to just no life until the very end. And as of right now, it's my lowest skill. So I'm not really motivated to do Slayer. I'm not really motivated to do Thieving or Hunter. And that's really all I have left. So if I can knock some agility out while I'm motivated, it's not a bad shout. How are you, Oxie?
I'm good. I'm upset at the US, but I'm good.
Same.
Otherwise, okay. We're glad we're on the same page with that. That's why I said the intro was going to be spicy because I didn't know where we stood. But I know our analytics are like 98% men. It's important for us to care about this too because wow, this is going to lead to a lot of problems for wives, girlfriends, sisters, moms, daughters, most importantly. So be aware of that and be mad about it because holy. And then some of the things that they've said are also on the table for redoing. Holy. Be mad about it. That's the extent of the politicalness we'll do today for the regularly scheduled XP content. But in game I'm doing good. I'm a little burnt after this Vikings bingo.
Oh no.
But I'm doing pretty good. We are thieving, so if there's a lot of mouse clicks this episode, it's just like the rune crafting days, baby. We're spam clicking the absolute shit out of this poor Artie Knight. And I don't know who's on this splash world right now, but nobody's actually splashing the Knight. It's kind of a chaotic mess, but it's so much better with than when I was trying to do it way back in the day. I think I've said it before. Like going for Dragon Slayer 2 Rex and then going for 91 have been very different experiences. It's a very, very nice thing. So I should hit, I think, 83 by the end of this episode.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, I don't know. I might AFK. I bought 99 cooking and I bought 99 farming. So I've got some longer term goals in the mix. I got my prims back this week, and it was one of the only tiles I contributed to the bingo board.
There you go.
In very classic Oxie fashion, the very first thing I did when I was able to get online was, all right, sick. Venenatus, Theater of Blood. I got those tiles. Don't you worry. Got Venenatus pretty spooned. I got a Treasonous Ring, like 50 KC into the day. So, that was pretty nice. Teammates came through with the Dragon 2H and the pickaxe. And then I got one Avernic, and then I think collectively between myself and the other teammates of mine who were able to raid, we probably saw 150 chests without anything in our name.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Yeah. It wasn't 150 raids, but when all three of us are going on the raids together or two of us are going on the raids together, it's just it was rough to see purples. Yeah. I did see one. It was an Avernic, so we did make a little bit of money, but that tile did not get done. Otherwise,
what was the tile?
It was any 3 raids uniques, but they didn't count kits, dust, pets, or something else. It was kits, dust, pets, and preserved scrolls, which obviously preserved scrolls don't count, but I thought the kits, dust, and pet was a little harsh.
Yeah,
there was a pet bonus, so the pet I understand. I thought the kits and dust were a little harsh though, because I feel like we could have just spammed hard modes all week and been dragged through by Jesse and Immortal and gotten kits, but so I'm not mad about it though. I had a good time with bingo. Like I said, very burnt, very excited to play other video games, very excited to skill. And because I know you're all chomping at the bit, waiting for information, the Inferno feels good.
Ooh.
I think the skill set has finally developed to a point where like I know what to do in like probably 80% of cases. Like as soon as it spawns, I know where to go.
Nice.
The world was so bad last night. I was one tick alternating at the proper speed, and nothing was changing.
What?
At some point, I'm like, oh,
What?
good. I'm gonna die on wave 23 because I'm not alternating. Like I can't. Like the world was just bad.
If you hop worlds, does it keep you in the Inferno?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
You can
okay.
log out and stay in the Inferno. I just was like, it was like 11:30, 11:40 at night. I'm like, if I die, I die. I don't care. I ended up dying because I'm a dirty nibbler chaser. And instead of just letting a pillar take more health damage, I just sent it for the nibblers, and that was a mistake. So, but otherwise, the Inferno's feeling good. Maybe I'll just get super motivated and do a run every single day, maybe once or twice a day until between now and when I go to Europe. I don't know. I'm just ready to have it done. I was having this conversation last night that like, and I know I've said it before on the show that I'm so ready to be done with this grind because there are so many other things I want to accomplish. Like I have my goal sheet pulled up right now. All these 99s I want to get, all these like stupid random KC goals, like all of it is sort of not riding on the cape, but like they're very easy ways to distract myself from like the biggest goal of the year.
It's a roadblock, right? Like you're feeling stuck at a crossroads, and until you get your main goal out of the way, you're not wanting to move on.
Well, I think that's the issue is I am really ready to move on. I would like to do anything else besides the Inferno. But I also know that like I'm so easily distracted in this game that like I could spend the next 3 months at Vorkath to get 1,000 KC and hunt the pet, and then October rolls around and I am still no closer to getting a cape. So
yeah.
I know it's just easy for me to like get distracted by some of this dumb shit instead of actually getting it. So that's been my week. The groupie, nothing happened on the groupie. I think I mined, I did lunar diplomacy, and then that's it. I didn't even multi-log this week just because I couldn't really multi-log doing some of the PVM. So
you've been multi-logging a lot, so no shame in that.
Yeah, it was a busy week on the main with this bingo, so I couldn't even like. It's hard to like click on the new Motherlode Mine thing because you got crashed by some shitter Iron Man while you're like doing Sire or Cerberus on your main. Like I was having a hard time, so I'm like, whatever, just logged out. And I don't even know where my Iron Man is at this point to like know what I was up to within the last couple of days. So
two things. Going back to the first thing you said about bingo and how you're feeling burnt, I'm just curious if there's ever going to be a time where like you or I or anybody doesn't walk away from bingo not feeling burnt. Like it happens almost every single time, inevitably.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if we can have a sit down with the rest of the mods and figure out a way if we can help people avoid that this fall. Like, I don't know. It's just going to take some planning if we can. If it's not possible, it's not possible. But I really dislike the feeling of like once you play bingo, nobody really wants to play RuneScape for like 2 months. And it's happened. Like there's people who played in Springo who we have like
literally never seen them again.
You haven't seen them.
Like
not that we caused them to leave, but like you go so hard during a bingo week, and especially ours because they're like 10 days. You go so hard and you play a lot and you do so much in the game that it's mentally taxing and you just feel burnt.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to be mindful about going into fall bingo. Maybe make it shorter, maybe make it longer. Don't know what the answer is, but I'm just curious. And then the second thing is, without spoiling anything for Patreon, I'm tracking with you on that Inferno talk. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's feeling it, boys.
I'm feeling it. All right. So
I mean, as far as before I ask you how your week was, as far as bingo goes, I mean, I think it's just the competitive nature of people to like want to go hard. I don't even think I went that hard this week is the thing. I think
it's the obligation. It's the feeling obligated to play.
Yeah. I think it's the competitive nature of people that's going to be hard to like make people not burn out, you
Yeah.
know? But it's just like that with any activity, I suppose. It can be that way with like school. I know we have a lot of students who listen to us. And having been a student for my whole life up until like 2 months ago, it's really easy to like put everything you have into an activity, and then when the exam comes or when bingo ends or whatever it is, you don't even want to think about what you just did. Like whatever you just spent so long studying or whatever you just spent so long grinding, you want absolutely no part of it. Even if it's something you're passionate about studying or something, an activity you really like doing. I love melee Vorkath. You make me do Vorkath for a week, I'm not gonna go back for a month. Like that's just how it goes.
Yeah. But if you wanted to, you could. You could
I
go
could
for 2 weeks and not feel it.
I could.
Yeah, it's just that mindset thing.
Yeah. I've also got some plans for fall bingo that might really drive some people's competitive nature. We haven't really delved much into what we're going to do for fall bingo, but I have some plans. We need to chat with the moderators and the administrative people for bingo. I think it's going to be fun this year. I don't think it's going to help with burnout, but I think it's going to be fun. So, Michael, how's your week been?
Well, first of all, I'm thinking back to the time we were in VC, and now I'm going to be considered a referee, not even like a bingo admin. They're just going to call me a referee. And
Michael's the bingo referee this
I don't
year.
know
He
if
helps
I'm-
us plan, helps us make the board, but he's the bingo
I don't know if I'm here for that. So I might just commit to play so I don't have to be called a referee. But my week has been fantastic. I mean, I feel like I'm enjoying the game. And okay, so I say that, but with a caveat. It's not like I wasn't enjoying the game, but I feel like I have a good rhythm of a balance between my main account and my groupie. If you're new around here, when we say groupie, we're referring to Group Iron Man. I know not a lot of people actually call them groupies, but we do. It's just something Oxie started and we've rolled with it. But I have a year of membership on both of my accounts. So there's no pressure there to have to keep up with like a 2-week cycle of a bond. I don't have to PVM real hard, waste money, buying bonds, not using them potentially. It's all that kind of stuff you have when you have multiple accounts. So I have a year of membership on both. I finally got to the place where all of my goals on my group Ironman are completed for the time being. I have to do some quests. I'll get into that. But I did lunar diplomacy. I got all the requirements knocked out in about 2 weeks, which was great. Feel really good with that. The hardest one was probably magic, just because I didn't have any money for runes and I had to take a loan from TMD for a bunch of like mind runes and fire runes and stuff. But I got to do barrows. I got to do like a bunch of Guardians of the Rift on my group Ironman, and it felt good. It felt really good.
You got hella rune crafting now, don't you?
Yeah. 54. Mel is the only other highest one at 61. But I think she said she did like 2 or 3 weeks straight of Guardians of the Rift. So I got some catching up to do. But honestly,
I think that speaks to how pog Guardians of the Rift is. Because
Yes.
like to get to that point on my main, it was like every single lamp I ever got
yeah.
up until the 50s and 60s. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude.
Speaking of Mel, Monkey, she just hit 70 mining on her group Ironman. So, woohoo.
She's pushing Pog of the Elves, Pog.
Probably. But yeah, no, like the goals right now, because people have asked me, like the goal right now really is just runecraft until I feel like I'm to a place where I'm happy with it. And that may actually be 77 to start runecrafting for blood runes. Because you can either alch them for 240 each, or you can sell them to Ali Morsane. And it's pretty good money on an Iron Man. It's a pretty good money maker. Because when you sell them to Ali Morsane, the price doesn't go down. So you could sell 10,000 of them, and the price is always going to be the same. And they're not terribly hard to collect. It's literally free. So it might be 77. I might stop at 65 for death runes so I can do more barrows. The death altar opens a lot during Guardians of the Rift. And whenever I see it, I'm like, I wish I could be there. So Guardians is a lot of fun. And then on my main account, I've just been having fun. No pressure, but I've just been having fun skilling. I have a Cerberus task that I've been chipping away at. So I'm like, what is it? 700K till 99 defense. So that's going to get done soon. Slowly working on Slayer. If I'm feeling in the mood for PVM, I'm doing Slayer. I'm feeling in the mood for skilling. I've got Hunter, Thieving, and Agility. So there's a lot of things I can do. And if I'm if I'm feeling burnt with all that, we can do quests. So my account's in a great place. And I think the thing that's got me most excited about playing RuneScape these days is I've gotten back into streaming. Not like on a super consistent schedule, like, ooh, every, Friday night at 6 I'll be live. But like, if I've got the evening free and say it's the weekend and I'm not really doing anything the next morning, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go stream once the baby goes to sleep. My wife's like, cool, see you later. So I streamed last night, did Guardians of the Rift almost the whole time, and had a bunch of people from the podcast hanging out. That was a lot of fun. And, you guys have been great. People will pop in. They're like, hey, I'm from the podcast. Love it. Like, that's awesome. Thank you for showing up and hanging out. Streaming has been fun, and that's got me excited. So long-winded answer, but to say, yeah, things are good. And we took that week off. So, we got some plans in the works for the coming episodes.
Take a week off.
It does.
I love doing this show, but man, it does feel good to take a week off.
Yeah. Yeah. We hope you guys understand that, like, we're not going to be here, grinding it out every single week. There are going to be times where it's like, we just need a week off,
Yeah, at this point, we're tracking like every 10 weeks we take like a week off. Which, like,
yeah.
I'm content with that schedule. Like every 10 weeks of doing it straight through, and then not doing a piece of, like, not releasing an episode or something like that, because like it has its ups and downs. Because like positive, we didn't do it last week, so like I had a very free week last week. It was very chill. We did a lot of planning for like episodes and other various Xpwaste adjacent content. The sharp end of that sword is I have an extra episode, I have a normal episode, and I have to start drafting new commercials because I'm bored of the commercials. At this point, I made all but like 2 of them, and I'm bored of them. So I've got to start making more commercials, getting them in the works. So I have a lot of editing and content to do the week. This extra episode's gonna be pretty edit heavy.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So it's gonna be a busy week for Oxie, but it's all good.
Tiny Patreon plug. So when we say extra episode, 3 tiers on our Patreon have access to 1 extra episode every month. So if you guys are interested in that, stick around till after the break. We'll talk more about Patreon, but you get 2 or 3 hours of content extra per month. And this next one's going to be the one for June, which should come out in June, is going to be great. Maybe not.
Fingers crossed, boys. Fingers crossed.
We got 4 days.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give myself a tentative schedule. Just fingers crossed. But the goal is for it to be out before July 4th. That's the honest goal, is to have it out before July 4th.
Yeah.
Just so I'll do that whole weekend. But like,
we've been doing it this way for the last 3 months. Like, maybe we'll just be posting last month's episode the next month and make that the thing. So like, you'll get July's episode August, and we'll call it July's episode. It's kind of how we've been doing it. But
I mean, I'm gonna be gone for a majority of July, so that's gonna be on you for that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, no. Hopefully we can get June out. It's going to be more intense. I think the priority has to be this week's episode. But
sure, for sure.
Besides the point, Michael, what are we here to talk about today? There's main title content to this shenanigan fest.
Hopefully they've seen the title of the episode and it makes sense, but I think we're going to talk about some news today. We're not a super news-heavy podcast. There's great ones out there, like the Wilderness Podcast. They love talking about the news. Highly recommend it. But today we are going to talk about the news because it affects a lot of people. I think Oxie said it best. Like, this is community. This affects the entire community as far as people who play the game on whatever client, your normal, whatever client you're normally playing on. If you're playing on the vanilla client, all that fun stuff. So, yeah. Did you want to talk about Deadman mode first, though?
Yeah, very briefly. Did anyone know that the Deadman mode final was being redone? Because I sure as hell didn't. I woke up and checked Twitter, and it was like the Deadman mode reborn final will be today at 5 o'clock. I'm like, since when? I had no idea. I didn't know it was a thing that was going on. And to the surprise of no one, servers had an issue.
Really?
In like the second or third round.
Oh.
Yeah. There's so many clips on Twitter of like Reese and Dino and people like that, like mad lagging.
Wow.
But the other person was still able to attack them. Like they're spam clicking food, brews, things like that. These are like experienced PKers.
Yeah.
Absolutely lethal opponents.
Wow.
Died to lag. So I watched a solo mission video earlier, and he brought up a good point at the end that I thought maybe is worth pondering for a little bit of like, is this the end of live events held by Jagex? Like, is this the last time this is going to happen? Because
honestly,
I don't know what they did to their servers to improve them, but at the end of the day, it looks like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
To some degree, it didn't matter.
Sure.
So I mean, you know, I don't know what to do about that. I think we've talked about it before that like the best way to do it would be like closed server link in real life, like a RuneFest Deadman mode would be super cool. Kind of like how they have like in-person Pokemon or like Magic tournaments, things like that.
Yeah.
You know how epic that would be?
Like a LAN
an
party.
Esports layout. Yeah, literally a LAN party, but for RuneScape. That would be awesome to have, 20 PKers face off, in like a bracket style format until they get down to the winners. Like, oh, that would be so cool.
That'd be really cool.
But have to have events in person to do that. So who knows what's going to happen with Deadman mode in the future, but I don't know. Apparently it was a thing. That's if you participated in Deadman mode and you got back into the new final 9 months later, what was your experience like? Tell us about it, because yikes.
Deadman mode, reborn, only to die again. Yeah, that was the title of the last one. It's like
reborn. It's
reborn.
like Deadman reborn for like the fourth time, and then died to the exact same thing for the fourth time. Like,
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, the other way around. Fool me once. Anyway,
I can't get fooled again.
That's sad. I'm genuinely upset for the people who were asked to come back with different expectations. But it's a very, very that whole thing where you're playing for money, it's very sensitive in the sense that you have to assume the worst to plan for the best outcome. And I don't know if Jagex is doing that. I don't know. We're not in the planning meetings for all that kind of stuff, but like you got to think, server issues were an issue in the first time. Why are they an issue the second time? Is it that hard to regulate? I
think people are just that malicious. Like I think it's both that hard to regulate and that like you're putting 20 grand on the line and like people are hacking video game accounts to sell gold for money. Like people who are not even in the competitive sphere get hacked and lose hundreds of millions or billions of GP so it can be sold. So like a lot of people don't give a shit about what it takes to get the money. And I think that like, I mean, if I can hack a server and get a cut of $20,000 because I helped somebody win, which is not saying what happened with the winner, by the way. We're not accusing Pid Grabber, I think, who won this time. We're not accusing that. But I'm saying, like, if that's the intent, right, you're going to attack the server in any way possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's hard to control. I don't know.
Yeah. Sucks. Like you said, the only way this really could work is either like a closed off version of the server, which I'm pretty sure they did. It's not like they're logging into World 305 or whatever. Not to my knowledge, at least. But either that or an actual in-person LAN party. I don't know if they did like a different server altogether. That would be interesting if they just made like a new instance of RuneScape and like they could port your character over and give you all the stuff that you had, because that's kind of what Deadman mode is. It's a different instance of of RuneScape. So, who knows? But sorry to the PK community.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Once again, sorry to the PK community for having another thing that was supposed to be good. And again, I think that was the only round that it was a problem for, was just that one set. But it again affected how it plays. So I think until we can get a smooth run, people are gonna constantly be like, "Come on, man!" But
yep. So what's next?
The big thing that happened, was it this week or last week? I think it may have been within the last 2 weeks because we did take the week off.
Yeah.
They've like officially banned cheat clients.
Mm-hmm.
It's officially done. It's kind of like, God, what was that, like, client of controversy that we talked about all that time ago? I don't even remember what that one was for, but we've seen them say that the vanilla client, RuneLite, OS Buddy, and HDOS are the only 4 approved clients that can be used. So you can either download the original vanilla client, you can download the C++ from Steam. Don't do that. Use the mobile client, use the Jagex launcher. That's all approved. I don't know who still uses OS Buddy.
I did for a long time. But the funny part about OS Buddy is they charged $3 a month, which wasn't bad. They charged $3 a month for you to have like the set of premium like plugins. So they had like tile markers, ground items. If you didn't pay for OS Buddy, it was basically just like vanilla RuneScape, but with like a very niche set of plugins. So you paid for it, you got all the premium plugins, and then RuneLite became popular. And for a while there, people were like, ooh, RuneLite, that seems sketch. You know, they're offering everything OS Buddy does for free. So it took me a while to actually adopt RuneLite. But yeah, I paid for OS Buddy for a long time. I actually on my Mac, I still have OS Buddy on there, and that's actually where all of my account screenshots from like 2016 are. So I'm glad I remembered that, because I probably would have deleted it, but I need to go and actually get them all off of there. But yeah, OS Buddy, if you're still using OS Buddy out there, let us know, and let us know why. I'm wondering now if it's free. I'd be interested to see, but it's got to be like it offers everything that RuneLite does, because I'm wondering if they're using the same open client type thing to house it, or if they just coded their own version.
I guess a point to make is like, what is a cheat client? Because if you showed someone RuneLite back in 2007, 2010, this is a cheat client compared to like what this game was supposed to be.
100%.
RuneLite is a big cheat client. RuneLite is not a cheat client. It's the point is, it's a matter of perspective, right? The cheat, it's like OpenRS, Blue Light, shit like that. They all basically do the same thing as RuneLite, but they open up the opportunity to like have tick counter plugins. So let's say you're fighting a monster and it's on a 4-tick cycle, it'll count down the amount of seconds until it attacks again, so you don't have to think about it. You do the gauntlet. It shows you what items you need, and then the timer for like when Hunlif is gonna attack or when it's gonna switch. But it's a visual indicator, so it's not like that dumbass Hunlif crutch plugin that people use where it counts down.
And it has timers on the tornadoes too, which I think was an interesting.
I don't know if that's vanilla or not. If the timer's on the tornadoes, I don't know if that's a RuneLite feature or if that's a cheat client feature.
I don't think it's RuneLite.
Might be a cheat client feature. I'm not entirely sure. Then there's also things like AoE indicators. So like Hydra is a good example of where when the first phase shoots the poison out, or the last phase shoots the poison out, it would highlight a whole big box, and like that box is where you'll take damage. Crabs at Verzik, when they explode, that's where you'll take damage when they activate. So things like that, things that tell you what to pray next. A lot of like super cheaty plugins.
Yeah.
They also had some other interesting features that have just become part of RuneLite now.
Yeah. What are the main ones?
Well, the ones that I've seen, I don't have like a list in front of me. Uh, Shift click walk is now a thing, which
Okay.
is useful for NPCs. Like, let's say you're attacking a dragon, and you click on the dragon. Instead of right click walk underneath it to like heal at KBD, for example, you could now shift click walk underneath. And if you hold shift, it'll just delete that whole menu.
Mm.
So instead of having like an attack option, even with this like Artie Knight, I'm hovering over it, it says pickpocket. When I hit shift, that option goes away.
Oh.
So makes that a little bit easier. Oh boy, what else did they add? I know they have added the ability to now left click pickpocket Vyres and Elves,
Mm-hmm.
which was a big cheat client thing for a while. I think that's going to be helpful also because they have done a massive bot bust on blood shards. I don't know if you've noticed the price of blood shards have been just climbing for the last couple of months,
Mm-mm.
but they have been cracking down on Vire bots. So blood shards are expensive nowadays, but that's beside the point. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you just sent something in there, the RuneLite blog, where you can swap to pickpocket instead of attacking now.
Yeah.
So that's a new function
Menu
for
entry
everything.
swapper.
Yeah, menu entry swapper. The party plugin is cool as hell.
Is it?
Have you seen the party plugin?
I have not.
Yeah, so it was, from what I understand, the party plugin that now exists is kind of like the offspring of what the cheat clients used, where it pretty much put everyone on the same wavelength in game. So you could see everyone's health, prayer, run energy, special
Oh.
attack. You could see what was in their inventory. A little thing popped up over their head when they hit a special attack. So like,
What?
let's say we're all doing corp, and we all hit hammers at the same time. It would say 1-1-1-1 when we all
Oh.
hit our hammers. There was a Discord party feature that was kind of similar,
Yeah.
but it was clunky as all get out and didn't give like any notable information.
Right.
But now you can like highlight tiles and shit. Well, actually, they have a hub party now. So there's the party, which is like just part of the game. Then there's the hub party plugin where it'll show the stats, the inventory, like whatever people are wearing. It's gonna be a mess. We were at Tob earlier today with a bunch of people being like, so why aren't you wearing ferocious gloves? Why aren't you salve check? Because like they can see your inventory,
Whoa.
which used to be super illegal, and now it's a fun addition to the game. Like it's just they're
Gonna have to remember about that anytime, like bossing in the future. Like, hey, everybody, load up the party. You know, because the highlight tiles thing from the Discord party thing, if you've ever used that, very helpful. If you're trying to
It's
teach
cool as
somebody
hell.
content, like you can draw tiles on the ground that they can see. I don't know if they disappear, but like if you're trying to show somebody and maybe you're not able to share your screen, you're able to just draw a line on their screen of tiles and it shows up for them. So very helpful for like teaching. And I'm sure that, you know, more people will start using this now that it's an official RuneLite thing.
Yeah, it's super cool. It really is. It's a very, very cool set of updates. Another one that people have kind of been all over, which was a huge cheat client thing. It was like a RAM saver plugin. Where it just like cut out death animations.
Yeah.
And now that's I've had that turned on for Nilo Room, and that is so nice.
Yeah.
At some places, because not only does it hide the dead NPC, it also removes their attack option.
Mm-hmm.
So like nibblers, you know exactly which one to attack. I know, Michael, you said you did a gauntlet the other day and you were able to collect all the stuff from a demi boss with it turned on. Yeah.
It's great.
It's really nice.
It used to be kind of Monka because that's how speed runs in the gauntlet were achieved. And it was very unfair because then you would have to get a cheat client and turn on this feature. But now that Jagex has adopted it in a roundabout way because RuneLite is allowing it and they're basically in cahoots at this point. Now it's available to everyone. So everybody's on an even playing field, essentially. I need to turn that on, I think, actually, because I don't have it. I think I may have turned it off.
It's under Entity Hider.
Oh, it's on
RuneLite.
Entity Hider.
That was just why it was used on cheat clients, is for people with like lower end computers or laptops, things like that would use this plugin,
see.
because the death animations, like, yes, it does speed up some activities, but
Huh.
if it doesn't have to be rendered on your screen for those extra ticks, it might help the computer run a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe
But
it wasn't me at the gauntlet because I didn't have it turned on until just now.
oh, that's weird.
Huh.
Well, you should turn it on and go send it
Yeah.
on. I think you'll like
It's
it.
on right now.
I do think you'll. Yeah, someone right now in the middle of the show. We'll just take a quick little 5-minute break.
Let's do it.
But we are gonna link the third-party guidelines down there too. They updated them kind of recently. One thing I took away that they're not going to add, which I'm interested, Michael, if you think they should add this or some variant of it, is Neverlog.
I have a thought on this, so yeah, we can get into it.
Yeah, so Neverlog clients are no longer a thing, which we'll also get into a little bit later, of like Jagex's new policies with these things, which is pretty neat, you know. But yeah, no, people can't Neverlog anymore. How do you feel about that, Michael? Not that you ever used it, but
for sure. No, I am under the impression that people are going to find a way. Like, you can turn on FPS control and turn your FPS down to 1, and that essentially lets you stay logged in for longer than you should. So there are going to be certain things you can get around it, but an actual fix for this issue would be for Jagex to just look at their stance on the logout timer itself. For it to be 5 minutes is kind of low, when the general time for aggro is 10 minutes, and then you de-aggro. Why would it take longer for you to lose aggro than it would for you to just sit there and AFK and not, and log out? It doesn't make sense. So people have been, saying there's things like WoW, World of Warcraft, that their logout timer is an hour. You can sit there and not do anything in the game for a whole hour.
That is insane.
Yeah. So it's worth, looking into, I think, for the future, to, if it has to be something other than 5 minutes, what is the acceptable time? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 20 minutes? Is it the same as aggro? Could it be 15? Like, there's so many variables to look into, but I would be happy without having to download a third-party client and risk getting your account banned. Just make it a universal thing. Give it to RuneLite, maybe. I don't know. Because what does it do? Their whole stance was that it's bogging down the server, but like, how many worlds are there now? 200 or 300? And there's never more than like 500 or 600 in any given world. So I'm not buying it. I'm just confused at this point.
I mean, could be if they increase server strength. I mean, maybe it might come where, like, when their C++ client is finished and not so easily hackable through Steam, when their vanilla client is where they want it to be, maybe it'll have less strain on the server, because we won't have any, I don't know, shitty servers trying to run a shitty client.
Right.
I don't know. Not that the servers are bad, but like, there's always some sort of problem, right?
Yeah.
So as far as like server strain, I understand it. I've always been super indifferent about the Neverlog. I have not really cared, because I haven't really seen anyone use Neverlog for anything other than like holding corp instances.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, what else do people use Neverlog for? I don't use any of these clients, and I definitely won't now that they're issuing bans. But like, what is the benefit of not logging out? Because it's not like you can train anything infinitely.
Sure.
Right? You only have 28 inventory spots that you can't, like, unless you're auto banking, which is botting.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't take a ton of work to like look over from your second monitor and like scroll your mouse wheel at Redwoods, or like, look over and like tap your phone when you're watching TV. Like, I don't understand where Neverlog is beneficial, other than maybe like scouting raids and holding corp instances.
Yeah,
So
I
if
mean,
somebody could explain to me why Neverlog is useful outside of that, because you can't do an activity infinitely. You will lose aggression at a lot of monsters, as we talked about in one of our recent episodes. You only have 28 inventory slots. You can't, like, thieving in a night is one single action.
yeah.
But I could stay logged in for 6 hours doing this if I keep clicking on the night. So, like, I don't know. Why is it
And
helpful?
somebody was saying that like it would increase bots, but like bots don't get distracted. They can write a script that says every 5 minutes or every 4 minutes and 59 seconds, click the screen. Like this isn't an issue of people being able to bot more. It's just an issue of convenience, I think. That's my stance on it. I've like you said, I've never used it. Never once downloaded anything other than RuneLite and us, buddy. So I don't know, the convenience sake. I'm just an outside looking in. I'm an outside perspective on this, and I don't think it's that bad, really.
Yeah, I really don't understand. I think it would be nicer to have a longer logout timer when I am lasagna logging, because nothing is more distracting than, like, again, being in the Inferno or being at Verzik or like doing a Slayer boss that takes a couple minutes, like Hydra or Grotesque Guardian, something like that, and getting that annoying ass pop up like TNL Jaddy is about to log out because like I have to reset aggro, or like I just haven't touched that screen for a couple of minutes. I think a longer logout timer would be nice for things like that. But like I'm still prone to forget I'm logged in. Like it would be nice, but I don't know. I'm very indifferent about the login timer. That's pretty much how I'm landing on it. I just think it's maybe it could be a change for the future to like modernize OSRS a little bit.
Yeah, because what's the logout timer in RuneScape 3? Do you know? Is it 5 minutes? I have no idea.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if we are behind or not on from RuneScape 3. I know that we're definitely not in line with many other MMOs, because like literally, if you have an Xbox or something, you could leave that bitch on all day and like no one's logging you out. Your TV may turn off, but you sit there in Animal Crossing and your character's like just like twiddling their thumbs. But again, it's not a real server.
I think it's a little different when it's a live server, but you gotta think like there's gotta be someone still logged in. I get why we have timers, because bots are a thing, and it's also just healthy for people to be able to be forced to log out. Because like we always call it the mind your business reminder, but like sometimes when you get that you will be logged out in 5 minutes, you're like, ah shit, I gotta go be a person. I'm gonna just get up for a minute. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So sometimes it's helpful.
Yeah.
But
Cammy in the recording booth chat says RS3 is also 5 minutes per Google. So thank you, Cammy. So yeah, I guess we're not behind RuneScape 3, but you could even look at it
as a whole
3.
is behind.
Yeah. All right, so I'm in the gauntlet right now, and the high death thing is super nice.
It's weird to get used to at first.
Yeah, I'm like, where'd it go?
Because we've been playing with death animations for thousands of hours, then suddenly it just boop, disappears.
Gone.
Like, am I lagging? Did it break? It's very weird to look at at first. I will say it took me a little bit to reset with it, but so they're banning people who use these cheat clients now. Yeah,
that's what I've heard. I mean,
they're banning the shit out of them.
How are you gonna find them? I mean, does the system know that you're using it? And why were they not being banned before?
I think that was part of the controversy. Is Tasty released a follow-up video, because a couple of weeks ago he put out a video that was like, this is why people use cheat clients, basically. And then like a week later they changed it, which he even says in his second video of like, that wasn't me who changed it. Like this shit takes months on like a game design level. So like
it's just coincidence.
Convenient timing. Yeah, literally it was coincidental convenient timing. But he mentioned that a lot of the old rules for cheat clients were only rules for people who followed the rules, because nobody got banned for using those old clients.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main points of his video is like, retribution has to be swift for people caught using cheat clients. And I think it has. Like, they have either successfully banned a shitload of people who are still using these clients. I've seen a couple pop up on Twitter, and the ban literally is using unapproved client or something like that. It's like using... God, I saw a tweet the other day that was like, well, it was a good run. And someone had their 2-week ban for using an inappropriate client. And it was on June 24th. Like, as soon as they said, we're banning you sons of bitches at this day and this time, they started swinging the ban hammer. And if they haven't banned everyone, they certainly have scared the shit out of enough people to, like, you know, I've seen a lot of, like, quote unquote ethical client gaming happen on Twitter. Yeah, because people are like, well, now I'm doing all this stuff on RuneLite, which is for the most part exactly the same. I think a big benefit that cheat clients had is that this game became very brain dead.
Yeah.
Like, Corrupted Gauntlet is super simple when you're like, it's like a flashcard show of like what you have to do next. Like, you've got 8 seconds until it switched attacks. The tornado has 8 seconds until it disappears. You know, you have to pray mage next as a little indicator. You know, like, this is your cooldown time for food. Like, the next tiles are gonna pop up here for like the floor is lava. Like,
what?
It's just
got
so
to that point.
I mean, there's literally things in here. Some of the stuff that's banned is like where like unsafe tiles are to stand, which is not the same as like tile marking.
Wow.
Right? Like, you can mark tiles in somewhere like volcanic mine and be like, this is safe to stand, safe to go. But if like a RuneLite plugin popped up that was like, oh yeah, don't stand here because this is falling, which I think might actually be an issue with the Volcano plugin we have. I think we might have to delete that Volcano plugin.
Really?
Because well, one of my friends recommended it to me, and like it was like a friend of a friend who like worked somewhere with Jagex made the plugin. It's like, oh yeah, cool. But it has like the indicators of where the rocks are going to fall.
Oh. So
I think we have to get rid of that client. We have to get rid of that plugin if it's not already gotten rid of, because the way I've understood it lately is that if it's an option in the plugin hub, it's probably good.
Right. That's my understanding. Is like, isn't this on Jagex to figure out the plugin hub? Like, they said RuneLite is safe. So...
Well, they said RuneLite is safe, but what my original understanding was the base features of RuneLite are safe, but you have to be cautious of what's in the plugin hub. But I've not really come across anything in the plugin hub that is like, oh, this is uber cheaty, or like, oh, don't download this RuneLite plugin because you're gonna get your shit hacked. Like,
yeah.
I've not once seen that pop up, so I'm not sure at this point if everything on the RuneLite plugin hub is safe.
So there is an answer to this, and we'll read this. So it says, at the very top of the plugin hub, it says, external plugins are verified to not be malicious or rule breaking, but are not maintained by RuneLite developers. This may cause bugs or instability. Use at your own risk. That's the only thing.
Yep,
so
I can't believe I didn't bother to read that. But cool. Thank you, Michael, for actually paying attention.
You're good.
You're awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess that's the answer. Everything on RuneLite is good.
Yeah.
Some of it might just like, there's one plugin. I'm in a Discord with a couple of friends from TNL, a couple of like their friends of friends, and they have like a Looty bot thing that pops up where you can like link it with your Discord. And if you get a drop, you like set a threshold or whatever, like 1 million GP, whatever. It's all personal. And it will send a notification to a Discord channel of like, oh, so-and-so just got a drop. So-and-so just got a pet. So-and-so did whatever. I had it for a little while in leagues, but couldn't figure out how it worked. So I just kept spamming these notifications whenever I opened Clue Scrolls. And I was like, no, this sucks. So I turned it off because I thought it was annoying that like I was spamming this chat with like, actually M17 has received a Sarah Doman hat from a medium clue. Like, I don't give a shit. Please, I don't care about the orange boater that I just got from my collection log. I tried to re-download it with like different settings. When I tell you it like absolutely made RuneLite shit a brick.
Oh,
Like, some of these plugins are a little buggy and not super well optimized.
yeah.
Like, I've got a powerful PC that can handle whatever it threw, and RuneScape went to like 4 frames per second for like a good couple of minutes while I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm just gonna turn it off. It's not worth it.
It's kind of like GZBot, but not optimized.
Yeah, and even then, GZBot is
meh. It's fun for some.
Fun for some, not for me, but fun for some.
Yeah. I was just in the gauntlet. Sorry if I seemed a little distracted. I was trying to kill Hunliff while we're recording.
How'd it go?
Got it down to half health, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get out of here.
Goodbye.
Can't podcast and PvM at the same time.
Yeah, you can. Goodbye.
I mean, I made it to Hunliff, so at least that's saying something. But no, I couldn't send it. I can do agility though. That's for
Hell
sure.
Yeah. I can thieve. This is the most thieving XP I've gained in probably 3 years with 107k on the day.
Look at you.
I just, oh man, this grind is going to suck. I'm not looking forward to this. But once we get this, we're in the clear. Once we have 91 thieving, we're absolutely cheering because we're just going to leech a couple Barbarian Assault games and have this damn Diary Cape out of the way.
It's exciting. How much XP till 91?
Oh, it's a lot. It's like 4 million.
Are you
it's like
82?
4 million something. I'm 83. I just actually hit 83 a little while ago.
And then
in the episode.
91 is 5.9 million?
Yep, we're at 2.7, baby.
Oh, man. So you got about 40 hours.
I have a
clickety-clacking.
literal shitload of thieving to do, and I am not looking forward to it. However, I am going to Europe in July for such a long period of time that I might, on train rides, just
Tap, 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 tap.
yeah, I might be doing something like that because I'm also probably going to try and smash out 99 cooking while I'm over there as well, just with wines.
Ooh,
Like if I get super bored, maybe. I don't know.
that's kind of funny. Are you gonna be in Italy at all? You could get 99 cooking in
No,
Italy?
no, I'm not going to be. That would be cool as hell to get 99 cooking in Italy.
Do one of those Reddit posts, where you're like 99 cooking and then you peer up and you're like cooking a full
Bro,
Italian.
I gotta take one of those like Italian cooking classes and get 99 cooking in the class.
That'd be epic.
You just biachi and me amici.
Please do that. But if you're not going to Italy, you're not going to Italy.
No, unfortunately, not going. It probably wouldn't be a far stretch. We're going to places that aren't far from Italy, so like, it's kind of stupid to take it. No, it's
Tell
kind
your
of dumb
parents.
to like spend the money on a day trip to like go. Like, hey, I have to go get 99 cooking in Italy. Don't ask me why, but I'm going to.
No, don't tell them you have to. Don't tell them it's RuneScape related. Tell them you want to go to the birthplace of your heritage or something.
Sono andato all'Italia dopo liceo.
Yeah, that.
Con il mio padre e la mia nonna.
I don't know what you're saying.
Non devi andare ora. I've already gone. I don't need to go right now.
Oh,
I would love to go back, but like we're going to so many countries and we're doing so much shit that I don't need to be like, hey, I'm already stressed because we're country hopping every 72 hours. You know what I'm going to do? Country hop again in that 72-hour time frame for a meme.
You get so much karma on Reddit though. Oh my gosh.
If Reddit karma mattered to me such that I remembered it was called Reddit karma before you said that, I might be into it.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
Not okay. Speaking of you being not here, I did speak with our guest host, if we want to be cryptic about it, and they are down. So
now who's the intern host?
Oxie got promoted. Everyone, yay! Yeah, so we have a guest host lined up. I'll save it for probably next week to talk about that. But be excited, you guys, in for a treat. In for a treat. That's all I'll say. Is there anything else you wanted to cover on this?
Be careful using these clients.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know why we need to. I think I'm gonna redact that statement and finally say that like if you're using RuneLite, because again, why are you using let's come on now, why are you using anything else? if you're using RuneLite, you can finally rest. You can finally like use the plugins you want and not have to worry like, is it cheaty? And a lot of the quality of life that cheat clients gave, because like that's one thing we can't deny, is that some of the shit in cheat clients is mad QOL.
Yeah.
Being able to AFK the corrupted gauntlet, holy shit, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
but that
you
devalues
don't
my
even-
achievement.
Yeah, I mean, like it's quality of life. It's convenient. It's not necessarily good for the health of the game, but
Right.
now that they've brought some of that stuff over, like I am excited to maybe go try pickpocketing Vires. I've never done it before because CBA with right click. I'm just thinking about like leagues now, pickpocketing elves and Vires with that right click.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so nice.
Yeah.
You know, the shift click walk, again, take a shot every time Oxie mentions Tob. It has changed the game for tanking Verzik.
Yeah.
It has made it ridiculously easier now because like you can't misclick. You just shift click, walk underneath her. You know?
I'll say this. The right click system in this game is very outdated. The fact that you have to rely so much on a right click to do something, like just thinking about pickpocketing an NPC that's designed to be pickpocketed. They didn't think about that when again, it's just outdated without getting too much on a rabbit trail.
Yeah, I think there's also like the weird, you can like talk to some of these NPCs too. You can kill some of these NPCs who are getting highlighted or getting pickpocketed rather.
I wonder if this makes
so
blackjacking any easier.
I don't know. I don't think it would, only because like that really messes with XP rates. I think doing that for
money
yeah, well,
Iron Man money.
Well, okay, but it's Iron Man money. Iron Men don't affect the economy at all.
But they don't like to make things easier that were pre-established as hard for Iron Man because people complain.
Then Iron Men are not allowed to use RuneLite.
No RuneLite for you, Iron Man.
Like, if that's the argument, Iron Men are stuck using the shitty vanilla client, which is getting less and less shitty by the day.
Yeah.
By the way, that's probably the final thing we should touch on. Have you played on mobile since the update?
Well, there's two things I want to talk about. One of them being mobile, but real quick, I actually am very curious about the HD OS because I was very surprised that they listed it with how much crap they gave 117 for just having a RuneLite version of HD. Now there's an entire client that's HD. It's buggy as all get out from what I've been told. So it's nowhere near ready, but I'm very surprised.
It really does look like 2010
Yes.
RuneScape, though.
That to me
looks
2000
so cool.
2010 is very nostalgic for me. I liked that era of this was just a small upgrade from old school graphics, but it wasn't like this looks like World of Warcraft. You know, it still looked like a kid's
cool
game.
enough. Yeah, because like your whip moved back and forth and like the capes dangled. That's why when you hold some two-handed items like a 2H sword, it doesn't do anything and it looks totally normal. But when you hold like a god sword, your character changes stance and your cape goes back and forth because that's ported from when they changed all those animations with the graphical update.
Yeah.
That is like, oh, that's peak RuneScape. And I've been trying to get 117 to look like that because sometimes I look at people's 117s and I think, why does it look more HD than mine?
Oh, maybe.
And I'm not, I think because my settings are on like the highest possible detail.
Yeah.
That I think ironically making them look that high detail has kind of taken away like, oh, this is what HDOS used to look like. So I'm thinking maybe I'll give HDOS a try.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Maybe
if
I'll
it has plugins,
run some shit on my groupie.
Then I'm there.
If HDOS starts getting RuneLite plugins,
yeah, baby,
might have to do some of these skilling grinds on HDOS just for the nostalgia factor.
Yep.
I'm never leaving RuneLite.
No,
I'm so entrenched in RuneLite that like I'm not going anywhere. The bank tabs alone make it so that I can't go anywhere but RuneLite. I think I've got like 60 bank tabs. I can't transfer to anything but RuneLite.
But for your point about mobile, yes, I was on the iOS beta actually. So I've had all of these features on my iPad for however long it was out, like a month or two. And I was genuinely sad that week that we had to go back to just like vanilla mobile client, because I did a lot of fishing on that client, and it was chef's kiss. Like having fishing spots being highlighted on a mobile RuneScape client was great. Tile indicators was awesome. I don't know if I never really figured out if you could mark tiles, but you could have like,
yeah, I don't know how. It kind of seems like maybe you can, but I know they have like destination tile,
destination
current
hover.
tile.
Yeah.
Destination tile and true tile on.
One
They
of-
have like, I don't know if this is new, but you can like vibrate when you do something.
That is new.
Is that new?
I think
or
that's
no?
new. Yeah. But the big thing that like, it's small, but it's also big. But the way that they highlight, or the way that the colors change whenever you highlight or click something, that was big. The way that that big yellow or red circle that just pops up whenever you did something on the old version of the client, that was so clunky. And the fact that that was that way for like 3 years, 4 years is surprising. But, hats off to Jagex for an incredible mobile client. I'll keep saying this until it happens, but like, if they can make Steam client way more secure and they can put the quality of life improvements on Steam, I would potentially switch. I mean, there's no loyalty there to say like RuneLite or die, but I want to support Jagex and what they're trying to do. And it's viable to say that, Steam client could be comparable one day with all the improvements that they're making for mobile. The one thing that I am missing, and a lot of people have talked about this, but ground items not being a thing yet really is holding people back.
I can't wait till that is a thing.
Yes,
because it's coming. It's
on the roadmap. Yeah, it's definitely on the roadmap.
It's gotta be coming.
But once that hits, peak gaming, because then Slayer, like actual Slayer, not bossing Slayer, but just like regular killing monster Slayer on mobile is going to be viable, because you're at gargoyles and like you don't know what's on the ground until you.
Dude, what about something like Necreals?
That's true too.
Where like there's so much shit on the floor that like if you get a rune square shield, you don't know what's underneath it. So what do? Spam click, pick everything up. Like it. Yeah. Once we get ground items in mobile / vanilla, mobile Slayer is gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Because I think like I can do some mobile. I can do Kraken tasks on mobile. I could probably do Kraken tasks on a smart fridge. So that's not really that's not really saying too much, but like, I'm excited for that day when ground items come.
Yeah.
So overall, I guess it's a very optimistic outlook. And this is also not us shitting on people who use cheat clients, because everyone uses them for different reasons. Some people use them to cheat. Stop that.
Yeah.
Good. Either play normally or get banned, bitch.
Yeah.
Like we said, some people just need the RAM reduction. Some people need certain features, because like if you pickpocket Virus 40,000 times, eventually you're gonna get tired of doing the right click. So it's all quality of life, and it's all coming to RuneLite. Well, most of it's coming to RuneLite. We're gonna link both the third-party client update statement they made on the 17th and the third-party client guideline, which shows a more detailed layout of what they notably don't allow in their clients, which a lot of the stuff you'll look at and be like, holy shit, that's cheaty. Because again, we'll link that in the description for you guys down below. But I don't think Michael and I have anything else for you.
Other than to say, stick around, because we got some fun stuff to talk about in the next half. Oxie and I have postcards to open, so excited for that.
So as I was saying, we'll see you after the break. God, you're so good at that.
Sorry.
Are you tired of your boring old routine of constantly gathering and banking all day just to do it all again the next? Are you ready to test the strength of both your body and your mind? If so, then an opportunity of a lifetime awaits you. My name is Certification, and I represent the White Knights of Falador. We need the best and brightest recruits to help us protect not only Asgarnia, but all of Gielinor. For the bravest and boldest, a position as proselyte may be in order, thanks to a rather ridiculous loophole. One can simply join the proselyte order, assuming you're willing to risk life and limb in a very dangerous mission that will be primarily espionage and combat, and travel to dangerous locations. But what you may sacrifice will all be worth it to say you are a member of the elite proselyte unit. When you're ready to begin your life of service, honor, and dignity, venture to Falador Park and enlist in the White Knights. And all that business about permanently cutting off your penis to join is completely idiotic. The White Knights of Falador will compensate you for the magical reversal of your genitalia.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that potentially recycled commercial, because I know I sure did. Liked it even more if it wasn't recycled, but like we said at the top of the episode, Oxie's got a busy week, so we'll see. It's Patreon time. You folks know that. We have the main title, we have the commercial, and then we have the Patreon, where we advertise how you can support us. And shout out the people who support us, I guess, the most? I don't know. I hate this part of the show. I'm so bad at it. But nevertheless, this is not about me. This is about you guys. So, in the Wise Old Man tier, we have Escape Caution, Elagio, Bolimer, Basket, Benjamin R., Bloodman, Hadadbod, C. Gladney, Morty, Creamed Ham, Drum TXT, Duke Bradley, D. Falconer, Flying Castiel, Forestry, Imby Jones, Jack M, Jake W, Yari, Jordy, Potato Pancake, Posh Padre, Mima, 999, Ukami Damashi, which I think I phonetically pronounced correctly, unlike Michael, Poorly Hung, aka Ice Wallow, Russ of Fury, Salted Snake, Soggy Waffles, Shadow, Skillaxin, The Chungaroo, Troll, Tyler H, and Zach without a K. Thank you all. You guys are awesome. And now on to the KBD tier of supporters. We have my dad. Hi, Dad. Cookies and MILF. Kroll, the Lord Jake himself, our third favorite supporter, Ralph, Spartan Fire, and Toast No Toast, who also sent us some postcards, which we're going to be getting to in a little bit here in this second section of the show. If you guys want to support us on Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Xpwaste, and you can support at either the Wise Old Man tier or the KBD tier and get shouted out, or add a smaller tier like the Gnome Child. Shout out to the Gnome Child. Or the $5 Party Pete tier that gets you the extra episode. This is the most I've talked about Patreon on the show in a while, and guess what? I'm still not done. Michael and I have devised a fun Patreon challenge for you guys that is interesting. So Michael and I have discussed that if we hit 150 patrons total, 150 total patrons, we're going to get a matching Xpwaste tattoo. But there's more. Because if we get 150 patrons, not only will Michael and I get an Xpwaste tattoo, again, matching or mostly matching, little stylistic differences here and there. A mostly matching Xpwaste tattoo. I think the plan is also to fly your boy here out to Texas to record an episode IRL for the first time ever, which means after, what is this, 68 episodes of the show? Are we almost on episode 69?
No, we're at 66.
66? Yeah. After like 2 years of doing this content, I'll finally meet Michael in person. I recently had this conversation with a Bumble match I had that I have talked to this man almost every day for like 2 or 3 years, and I have not once ever met him in person. So it is here for out forever.
Yeah.
I don't know how long. We don't have an end date for this goal, which
Yeah.
Michael and I probably should have thought of.
Well, I'm expecting
but-
people to go hog wild, so
I have no. You guys know how much I love promoting us making money, so I have no idea how long this is going to take. But 150 individual patrons. I have been clicking through every single Patreon menu, and for the life of me, I finally found it. We currently have 70.
Okay.
So we are almost at the halfway point. So if we hit 150, I will be flying out to Texas to get not a small tattoo.
No.
Michael drafted up a design, and I'm like, how big do you think? He's like, I don't know, hand size. I went, hand size? God damn.
I already know where I'm going to put
So-
it if we hit it. It's going right here. It's going right there. Right on my
It's going
arm.
right there.
Yeah, baby.
Damn, dude.
It's the start of
I
my-
might have to. I might have to get mine on the thigh. So like with tattoos, I have my 117 on my back left shoulder.
Mhm.
I kind of want everything from like my clavicle through this part of my arm
Mhm.
all the way down to be tattooed.
Oh.
Almost like a piece of armor,
Ooh.
right? But it's just tattoos. The problem with that is while we're kind of shifting into like people with tattoos are professionals, so stop bitching about it as a society, I'm not entirely sure therapy's all the way there.
Mhm.
I'm not sure because sometimes clients aren't there. Like sometimes I could be the most helpful person in the world, but if I have a visible tattoo of something from Xpwaste, people aren't going to take me seriously.
Yeah.
So mine might be a big old like thigh tattoo.
Mhm. I'm down
But
for that. I would love to get a
I
tattoo on my
might-
thigh, but I want to.
I might do something on my left thigh to do like to keep it on like the left side of my body. Not for any other reason than like aesthetically. I just think that would be neat.
Yeah.
So I might do a thigh tattoo, or we'll see how the design differs. But hell or high water, 150 individual patrons. We're doing the matching tattoos. So
one disclaimer. We're still deciding if it's only going to be one like individual accounts, right? So if one person made 100 Gnome Child accounts, would that still count? I don't know. The idea is to get community engagement. If one person just knocks the goal out, sure. But we want to provide content for you guys. So that's kind of the reason behind this. But yeah, we still have to figure out if it's one per person or not. Oxie and I will talk about it. We'll post some things, see what the official rules are. But yeah, there's no time limit. That's the other thing. There's really no time limit to this. Oxie kind of alluded to it. But if it's like next year and we haven't hit it, then we may end up lowering the goal or just doing it. I don't know. But I'm expecting
we
in the
might
next
at the
couple
end of it, we
months.
might just say, yeah, screw it and do it. Because Michael's so excited for this goal. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. Michael's so excited. He has been like sending me pictures.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know if you like American traditional, but like, how about this and how about this?
I'm
Let's
actually
do that.
gonna I'm gonna post a
okay.
picture of what I think about what I'm thinking in the recording booth chat. A little sneak
yeah,
peek.
we'll put the work in progress in there.
Yeah.
You know, as a little what's it called? As a little recording booth chat perk.
Mhm.
A perk that you yourself could see on Patreon. God, I hate myself so much. So we're moving on to the next topic.
Well, the last
because
thing I would say-
can't advertise any further.
I'll advertise.
I physically can't advertise any further.
One
than
last thing
this.
about it is if you I don't know, we have a tier that's $1. So there's no pressure in this for anybody to ball out. If you want to help support the show, we have a $1 tier and we will love you nonetheless. We always say shout out to them child and we mean it. So thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. Helps us to do cool things like this. We did our 50th episode special with the help of Patreon. So we have plans to use the money. Could hire an editor at some point and take a lot of stress off of me and Oxie. So like there's lots of things that could come, very cool things from the Patreon. But I'm going to post this up.
One of those being an IRL recorded episode and a massive tattoo. What? In any case, what do we do next?
So it's
Why am I?
No, you're good.
We took 1 week off, and I have completely forgotten the structure of Xpwaste. Michael's like, "Are you going to count us down?" I'm like, "Count what?" That's how we sync up at the beginning of every episode. I'm like, "What are we counting for?" He's like, "To sync the recording." I'm like, The
The what?
It's been
Are we still recording?
1 week off. Yeah, literally, I have been off the chain for this
man.
1 week. So is it
It
community
is
question
community
time?
question time. So
Look at me. See, I've only been the co-host the entire time.
So if you're
I'm learning.
if you remember from 2 weeks ago, we talked about spots in the game that may be sort of hidden, unknown for training, and we asked you guys, what are your favorite unknown or less talked about training spots? Rolling through these, Jacob M says, grab cannon, round up the boys, head to Fally, kill the cows on sight. Best XP in the game. Cows and Fally, that's a new one. I always thought about like the cows in Lumbridge, but cows and Fally, they're dead. Mockcat says, not gonna lie, did like 20 to 50 in melees on the experiments, but I have a weird love for sulfur lizards. They drop noted smithing supplies, and Mock is a UIM, so shout out to you. Also enjoy Chaos Druids in the Taverley Dungeon. Dean M says, bossing, just grinding out Odium Ward and Malediction Ward got me from 60 to 70 range. So just regular bossing. 60 to 70? Wow.
Wait, 60 to 70 range for both of those wards? That's a shitload of Chaos Fanatic KC.
60 to 70 range and mage. I forgot to read the end of that too.
That's still a shitload of Fanatic KC because you use Mage for Arc and Scorpia. I would like to know your final KC counts.
Right?
Sir, I would like you to post your final KC counts for the wards and at me because 10 levels is a lot of friggin' kills. Although 60 to 70 is what? Like 500 or 600,000 XP?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not as much as I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe like 80 to 90 or like 90
Like a
to
couple
99.
million XP.
Yeah, no. Either way, that's still a lot of kills. So I'm interested what your final KC count was. But
Seth says, and I'll put a disclaimer for this one. A lot of people said this one. So if we come across a duplicate, this will be the only one we read. But Seth said, I always wear Guthans and I train at the bandit camp. If you wear a god cape, they continue to aggro. Lots of defense XP back in the day. I was informed recently that a blessing may also work. So these are bandits in the desert. If you wear a god item, they just never stop aggro. After 10 minutes, they're still going. So with that reworked logout timer, Oxie, like if we had an hour until we logged out, it's an hour of straight AFK training. Oh my goodness. That would be insane. But you need Guthans to do it, so I feel like Guthans might actually go up if that were to happen. Because there's things like Nightmare Zone that's also pretty, like you don't have to be there at the computer for very long. Let's see. Nathan says, I missed the cockroach dungeon in Barb Village in Edgeville. My old
oh my god, that's not a fever dream. That's real, right? That's a thing. Holy
I have no
shit.
idea.
I remember going down there in like HD RS2 and killing them big ass bugs, but it's not the stronghold of security. It's something different. Wow. I've not thought of that in forever. I didn't even think that was a real thing. Thank you.
I have no idea.
Thank you for that.
My old training spot from back in the day was Chaos Druids and Taverley, Myth Skimmy, and a Dream. That's facts. Jay, J-A-Y first name, last initial J. I used to love the yaks in the Isle of Nitzenot. Low defense, high HP, good times. That's actually one that I've seen a lot as well. And that's still a viable training spot, to be honest. Once you get from whatever the quest where you unlock those two, it's pretty good. And lastly, on Spotify, Thomas says, I wish I was good enough at this game to have a secret spot.
A mood.
Oh no. So sad. All right, so moving over to our YouTube pinned comment replies. Shout out to Jordy for this one. It's not the greatest, but I remember killing giant frogs in the Lumbridge Swamp for their big bones. They do hit hard if you don't have any armor, but the big bones early game were pretty neat. Though I think nowadays going for Fire Strike and risk your life at Lava Dragons is way better. Arguably, yes, but if you can collect, I think it's 350 big bones at the Chaos Altar, I think that gets you from 1 to 43. Hi, my name is Hugh J, and my favorite training location is the Ogres by Yanil. Those big fellows are a sight to behold. That's a great spot that not a lot of people use, but it can get locked down if people are there because it's in multi and you can bring a cannon and you just have no shot.
I think it's multi. I think you can safe spot them with a cannon.
Oh, okay.
And then it's effectively... I'm not entirely sure if it's multi over there, though.
Okay. Huh.
But it is a good training spot. It's one of the best places to kill ogres, especially on a Slayer task.
Somebody sound off in the comments if that's in multi or not, because I'm pretty sure
I-
Oxie's right.
I don't think I've ever killed anything there, but, yeah.
Let's see. The last one here is from Elagio. My favorite place to train my bank standing skills, still working on 100k molten glass, thanks to Oxie, is the clan hall because it's nice and quiet and I can focus on the CC and vibe. Love to hear it. Actually, if you're in TNL or you're just in a clan in general, the clan hall is a very chill spot. And I'm kind of sad that I don't have any bank standing skills left on my main. When I get to the Iron Man, obviously, could go to the clan hall and skill, but it's very, very chill. Like no one's there unless your homies pop up. But if you get bored or, after a long day of skilling, you should walk downstairs, grab a beer, sit down, enjoy the silence, maybe play some piano, cheer in. That's it for the community question. Thank you so much to everybody who did answer 2 weeks ago. But if you want to answer this week's community question, we are going to ask you, what is your favorite RuneLite plugin? And if you don't have one, why are you still playing vanilla?
That sounded very condescending.
I'm
but we
actually
are curious. Why are you playing vanilla
Yeah.
in 2022? We understand that it makes us sound like assholes, but there is a genuine curiosity there.
Hey, listen, even Bodhi is on RuneLite now. So, man's coming he's coming up in the world. Anyway, Oxie, there was one other thing before we get to the achievement of the week, and that is 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, I can't remember, we did release a survey. So if you're listening to this on the day of release and you've made it this far in the episode, first of all, thank you. Second of all, check the description because we put out a survey asking for your guys' feedback. So like I said, if you're listening to this day of release, it actually ends tomorrow on July 1st. So you still have some time to answer. But if you're interested to give us your feedback, let us know. Answer the questions in the survey. Oxie and I will be going through that. The last time I looked, there was like 50 or 60 replies, and that was days ago. So I haven't looked anytime soon, or I haven't looked anytime recently. So it probably is up to 70 replies if I had to guess. So we've got a lot of feedback to go through, and we're very excited. That's definitely going to help us within the next 6 months to figure out the direction for the show, things we need to work on, things that you guys would like us to keep doing. And then expect another survey probably at the end of the year so that we can do more in 2023. But all that being said, let's shoot it over to Oxie for achievement of the week.
I have to give a big disclaimer right now. Taking a break for 2 weeks is very refreshing and it's very helpful for almost every single aspect of the show, except for achievement of the week. Because in these last 2 weeks, a lot of people did a lot of shit. So I want to give a blanket congratulations to everyone who accomplished something. But in addition to not knowing everything that happened, I don't think we have the time to go over every little nitpicky detail. So
Right.
There are some highlights of things that I do want to mention here. Some things that did pop up that were pretty cool and pretty notable that people got done in these past couple of weeks here. All right, so in the vein of achievement things that are not 99 or PVM related ordeals, we have a man who specifically said, if you're skipping the episode, I would still like a shout out. We've got our boy Taco Dog who finally beat Dragon Slayer 2.
Woo!
I'm calling this one out specifically because he said it took him 51 attempts to kill Galvac.
What?
And Galvac is a difficult boss, especially if you've never done anything PVM related before. Yikes. Some of these quest bosses suck. So shout out to you, Taco Dog. He's not the only one, though. We do have other people pushing through various quests. Our boy Leo finally got a PC and has been doing quests.
Holy cow,
So
Leo.
Leo, the
man.
infamous, most anti-quest man we know, has been doing quite a few quests. He did Sins of the Father in DS2 this week. We also do have at least one quest cape with Adamant Hawk. Adamant Hawk did get his first quest cape. I think that's the only one. I say I think because there are so many achievements this week, you guys. It's insane. Soggy Waffles has completed Recipe for Disaster and all of its requirements that go along with it, as has Unsliced, I believe, has also completed RFD. So that's where we're going to cap it off for completing the achievement cape style things. Congratulations to you guys. In the realm of PVM, there's a shitload of people who have done a shitload of things. We have a couple of first fire capes. I'm going to call the one out we got on Twitter first, because someone did add us on Twitter. Beefy Coco added us on Twitter and said that he got his first fire cape today.
Oh,
finally got a fire cape. Congratulations.
nice.
We've got Dude Haim with the first Zulrah kill. Also, Troll got a quest cape. Congratulations, Troll. To shout that one out too. Hate to miss people, but we kind of just have to at some point. The Chungaroo with the first Zulrah kill. Bowmanator with the first Hunlift kill. Always a stressful one. Always a stressful one. M. Scotty with I think two Gauntlet kills were the first two that were popped up. Yeah, the first two Gauntlet KC achieved. Nice. Our boy Leo, speaking of Leo, the double shout out this week, cracked off his first Fazani's Nightmare. That boss. And he did it on mobile, which was gross.
So cool.
But then he got a PC and has been doing Fazani's on his PC. He's been enjoying it quite a bit. And then, as always, coming in with just another, how is that humanly possible achievement of the week? Our boy Jesse, 2 fast kills, achieved his first solo Theater of Blood in these past 2 weeks. Yep.
Wow.
He's the only one on the board. Took him 68 minutes to get through the entire thing. So
Crazy.
that's, no more words, but that's pretty cool. As far as skills go, I kind of want to issue an apology for this because we have so many 99s. We literally just got a 99 today, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. And so for Vitney got 99 defense. But there are so many of them, we don't really have time to shout them all out. Also, someone got a 99 this week that led to a much bigger achievement. So in the skills category this week, we apologize to anyone who got a 99. But this week's achievement of the week goes to the MIG for finally maxing his account.
Yeah.
We had a maxing party for him on World 514 in Lumbridge. He pickpocketed the man outside the castle, and he maxed. And everyone followed him to Max Island that could, and those of us that couldn't stood up on White Wolf Mountain and threw eggs at everybody. So congratulations to you, MIG. Glad to have you a part of the community, and glad you can rock all those Max Cape variants at every little piece of PVM now. So congratulations to you. And as always, congratulations to everyone who achieved something this week. We do see your achievements, even though this achievement of the week doesn't seem like it. We do see them. We are all very proud for everything that you guys have accomplished this week. If you would like to post your achievements, head over to our TNL Discord and show us what you have achieved. Let us know. You can also post kick-ass drops or really terrible drops in there as well. Talk about your pets or other video games. Discord's a great place to hang out. So that's achievement of the week, which I think means it's damn near fun question time, isn't it?
I'm excited. Yes.
I am too.
So a little disclaimer on this one. We got 2 postcards. This one is from Who Farted. Actually, their name, Hoof Hearted. Yeah. I was very unaware of that whenever I read this. And
it took him a good 5 minutes to figure it out. We were all laughing. And he's like, I don't get it. And he's like, yeah, hoof-hearted, who cares? And we're like, Michael.
So we're going to read this fun question next week. So that'll be the fun question for next week. Because this week, Oxie and I both have postcards in our very possession, which has never happened.
We have unsure actually has a fun question.
Yeah, it's
so there's
true.
potential that it doesn't.
Yeah, it's very true.
So the postcard we might use next week, we also might use this week. Because we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
We have no idea what these postcards have on them. But they are from they're from Toast, correct? Yeah.
Did I just dismiss the Quizmaster? How did that even happen?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
He is a sinner and he will be banned from this community.
Okay, I'm going to open this now. So, yes, Toast sent us these. So, what's funny is like I have the P.O. box in my state. And so anything that's for Oxie specifically just gets insta-forwarded by me. So, we insta-forwarded. Oh, he gave us a stamp so I could forward it to you, but I didn't open it. Anyway, we'll use it next time. So
yeah, we're opening them together. We're doing it live. I literally just cracked mine open.
Okay, so it's from Saginaw. Not sure what state.
So here's the question. It's I think. Oh my God, yeah. So this is hysterical, right? This is Saginaw, Michigan.
Oh,
because you can see the little Tittabawassee up here in like the top little bit here. This is Saginaw, Michigan. This is like maybe 40 or 50 minutes from where I live right now. So Toast sent you 2 postcards from across the country to then send one back like a straight shot down M20 to get to my P.O. box.
Yeah, it says it's from Metroplex, Michigan.
The Metroplex is down. The Metroplex is like here in Michigan.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. Yeah,
That's
I'm gonna cut this bit out of the episode. My dad works at the Metroplex.
Oh wow.
He's one of the postmasters down. I don't know if it's
Your
Metroplex
dad touched
or NDC.
This. Probably.
No, he probably didn't. He like runs the building. He doesn't touch mail anymore. You want to talk about a fucking elitist at work? It's my dad. But no. Metroplex is down there. Yeah, Metroplex is Southeast Michigan. I don't know. It's kind of close to the NDC and like the downtown plant. They're all in that general area, but the Metroplex is one of the largest in the state. So that's fantastic. That it would have been probably more. It would have been faster for us to like meet in the middle and like exchange the postcard than it would have been for him to send it to you to send it back to me.
That's
hilarious. But I'm so glad he did because that little extra step, that's fantastic. I've still not read what's on this, by the way.
Have you seen the picture?
Postcard.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I saw it.
We're gonna do it live.
All right.
We're doing it live. Holy smokes, dude! Hell yeah!
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Oh my gosh,
that is fantastic.
Dude.
So who did he draw for you? As if we don't know.
This is incredible.
That is super cool. This is extremely well done. Like terrifyingly accurate to the in-game.
Who did you get?
He drew me Elena.
Oh wow!
From Song of the Elves.
There you go.
He asked me in DMs. He's like, "Who's your favorite non-boss NPC character?" I'm like, oddly specific, but probably Elena from Song of the Elves, because I think she's kind of a badass and super cool. She basically like single-handedly uncovers that there's no plague. So like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, there's no plague. Spoiler alert.
You have to save her in the very first quest everybody ever does on an Iron Man. To get an arty cape.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So she's fantastic. And you can't see it because I went with a natural light look today, so it's kind of hard to see with the glare. But
does it
look
say
at that.
Inferno? Anything about Inferno?
It does not. And this is how this is my kind of man right there. It says, "Keep up the awesome work and have good juju for your rebuild. Much love, Toast." That's a man right there. I was very worried this card was just gonna say, "How's the Inferno going?" I told Michael I'm just gonna start attacking people if that's what it says. But
I got "Keep up the amazing work. Much love and grats on 99 fishing." Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. That is awesome. I'm gonna I don't know if I want to. I think I'm gonna put the it doesn't have any personal information, so I might leave the Elena side like out to put back there on the little shelf. If you're watching on YouTube, you can't see the sun has hit a point in the sky where it's like mad reflecting into my room, but I like the natural light, so we're just gonna.
Your camera's way overexposed.
It is, yeah. I look like a ghost on one side of my face. It's insane. Well, this is great. Thanks, you, Toast.
I'm
this
pumped,
is awesome.
Dude. I'm so glad we did this live. So I guess we
Yeah,
can
this
read the
is
fun
super
question on
cool.
this one then.
Yeah, they didn't have a fun question. So whoever sent the other postcard, you get your fun
Alright.
question of this week too. Awesome.
So this comes to us from Australia. Funny enough, it's a picture of a snowscape from Australia. Didn't know they got snow.
I think it's a ski slope is the proper term.
Whatever
In
you want to call
Australia,
it.
I think they do get snow, right? Maybe they have
Maybe.
mountains.
Hey, Michael and Oxie.
I don't know anything about Earth hard mode geographically, so like I couldn't.
Who really knows?
I don't know for sure.
Who really knows? Hello, Michael and Oxie, sending love from Australia. Love listening to the podcast while I'm at work. It makes the shifts go by so much faster. I recently got the Rift Guardian pet at only 78 runecrafting, another low level /KC pet to add to the collection. GZ. That is a great
Hell
pet
yeah.
to get out of the way. For the fun question, though, they asked, and I have not read this. I read the first part, and then once I said fun question, my eyes stopped moving. So, fun question. If you could make any era of RuneScape into a D&D campaign, i.e. the God Wars, the battles in Mauritania, what would it be? What would it be? Additionally, if you could bring over any RS weapons into D&D, what would they be, and how would you balance it? Oxie is stunned.
There's so much content for this answer, and I have to pick one. Are you kidding me?
I mean, if you're going to carry the fun question on this one, I don't know much about the eras. Maybe I'll pull a quest into D&D.
A quest could also work,
Yeah.
because like, all right, just I have a plan, right? I'll get a little nerdy and maybe explain what he's talking about.
Okay.
As far as like what eras of RuneScape.
Yeah.
And then while I'm popping off, you can think of an answer. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So, like the eras, so to speak. When he first said eras of RuneScape, I thought he meant like RS1, RS2, RSHD, whatever. But no, he's probably referring to like the ages in RuneScape. So when you hear the age in RuneScape, you probably think one of two things. You either think the 6th age from RS3, when the gods have returned to Gielinor, which kind of throws off their whole timeline from ours, which is why ours is very alternate university, because we're still in the 5th age in OSRS. Or more commonly, you probably hear of 3rd age gear, which is that super expensive cosmetic bullshit that people get from Clue Scrolls. I want to say the 3rd age was when the God Wars were happening. I'm not entirely sure, but the 3rd age when the God Wars were happening. The 2nd age is when people started to like actually colonize things, and there were a lot of very large cities like Padua, Anakarl, Sentistan, things like that. Those names sound familiar because those are all the ruined cities from the ancient spellbook, back when Zaros was pretty much in control of everything. I want to say when Zamorak betrayed Zaros and took the power for himself, that's when the 3rd age began, and that also kind of began the God Wars, so to speak. I don't know much about the 1st stage. I want to say the 1st stage was very much like the gods, like, you know, Thule or Zool or whatever the hell her name is, and like Gothics were like first forming shit. I don't know anything from the RS3 perspective as well. I know they have a lot more active like in-game god lore, which I kind of like that about old school, that we kind of keep the whole like mystery of the gods very like, I don't know, we hear some things about them. Like there was a reference to somebody, a god affiliated person in the Temple of the Eye quest, but for the I think it was Jazz was referenced, but I don't know who Jazz is. Or yeah, I don't know. Some RS3 players like, you're pronouncing it wrong. I don't actually know. The 4th age is when we had a lot of like the Mauritania shit happen. I think that's when like the River Salve was blessed and like the Castle Draken came to be and things like that. And then the 5th age is everything that's happened right now. So the entire shit show that is a quest cape, every world-ending disaster that you single-handedly stop with literally 0 thank you, all happens during the 5th age. So that's, I guess, like what era of RuneScape you're thinking of. As far, do you have anything, or do you want me to go?
Based off the history lesson you just gave, I really think that the 6th age, where the gods have come back, would fit into a D&D campaign really well, because a lot of the times D&D campaigns focus on there is a rogue god, and you're leveling up your character to become powerful enough to take them on and save the world. So it would be really cool to start out as a low-level adventurer, work your way through the minions, take on this storyline, and eventually become level 20, be so godlike that you have all of these abilities that you could take on, Zamorak or Saradomin in a fight and potentially win. I'm not saying that either of those are the gods that I would choose, but they're the two most recognized and well-known gods of RuneScape. So 6th Age would be cool. Now, there were gods in another age, so you could pick either when they come back or right before they go away. But the 3rd Age, 4th Age, are we in the 5th Age in Old School or 4th?
Yeah, we're in the 5th Age.
5th Age would be cool because there is a lot going on. We still have gods that we're battling within RuneScape. Seren with Song of the Elves. I think that would be an amazing quest line. Just Song of the Elves, potentially more. But you could do a lot with D&D, mimicking a campaign around the events of Song of the Elves. You could have your characters be elves as their race, and they have something to fight for, or they have skin in the game. You could do a bunch of sessions where you're going through, why is there a plague in the city? You could start out with Plague City and Biohazard and start out the campaign just simply off the elf quest line. Underground Pass might suck, but dungeon crawls are a thing of D&D. So it really could work. Now, if your players are RuneScape players, then they may not have so much fun because they have likely done all these quests before. But it's possible. Dorks and Daggers is going through the world of RuneScape on their podcast with people who play RuneScape. So they're making it happen. So big shout out to
we'll definitely have to
Matt.
plug them at the end because this is definitely a question that's like perfectly up their alley.
But yeah, that's my answer, and I'll get into the weapon.
That's cool as hell.
This.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool as hell. Man, it's hard because so many things are cool, and the two things that I would have thought of are actually listed in the postcard are like the God Wars and then like the conquest of the Sanguine region, pretty much of all of that.
Battles in Mauritania.
Yeah, I think two cool storylines to follow would be you are an adventurer who starts off something small, like you're living in the Sugandinti region, whatever it's called, and then the vampires show up, and then you end up being tasked with like, it starts with like, oh, this might be a problem, to like, shit, how do we bless the river salve, like kind of go through that whole campaign of like, you have to meet, Lord Draken, you have to deal with like the Garazi vampires who are like their super warriors and shit like that. That would be really cool to do, like maybe werewolf storylines and almost kind of watch like civilization in Mauritania degrade.
Yeah.
Like have a city like Berg Darat just absolutely like diminish.
Ooh.
Or watch like the death of the eye.
What's the city that you run through to get to the Meyerditch hideout? Is that Meyerditch?
Meyerditch?
Okay, whatever. I don't know. I didn't know if the Meyerditch was...
Yo, what's the city you teleport to get to the Varrock sewers, bro?
I didn't know if the Meyerditch was the name of the group.
That's
I spacebarred that, okay? So don't come at me.
I can tell. That is the Marique. Yeah, I think that would be super cool because again, you've got like the vampires, Icene, werewolves. It's a very cool storyline. And then you could throw anything undead in there and make it very cool as well.
What's
the
city that like you're going through all the decrepit, is it Meyerditch?
Oh, don't try to redo that. We're leaving that whole thing. Don't you dare try to redo that. Don't you dare try to redo that, Michael. We're leaving that whole encounter in. Hell yeah.
Anyway.
No, I do think that would be super cool to see. Kind of tangentially, I would like to see Theater of Blood be made into a D&D like combat campaign. I think that would be very cool to do. I don't know enough about D&D of like, how do you make something like Zarpus work with the spitting poison? I feel like you could make something like let's talk about Maiden. You can make Maiden work where like you have what's it called? Initiative order,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is. And everyone attacks, and then Maiden's first attack, she sends out a magic attack, and then she sends out a blood splat.
Yeah.
And then at the third round of Initiate Order, she has a lair action where she sends these crabs out. And by the end of the next Initiate Order, she's skipping a turn. By the end of the next Initiate Order, these crabs will reach her and heal her. So your party has to decide what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, because in game, obviously you freeze 70, 50, 30, but in D&D, maybe you have to act a little quicker. Maybe there's only 3 crabs, so your party can like match up on them together. Maybe you create like a wall so nothing can get through, so these crabs don't actually matter. It's just cool little ways to go about that. So maybe that'd be pretty cool if I could actually write D&D campaigns, but I'm not
Bro,
there
if
yet.
you DM'd, I would hella play that campaign.
If I knew how to DM, I would hella DM it. But I think another cool thing for this particular fun question would be a campaign of like you are a Zarosian follower who just sort of starts to get a little bit upset with like what's going on with Zaros. And then maybe by like level 10, one of your allies kills Zaros entirely. And is like, yeah, great job, Zamorak. Turns out he's not that good of a guy. So then you have to go from like rebel to like, oh shit, we've gone too far. Like, how do we backtrack and like stop this a little bit? So that'd be super cool to go like Zarosian to Zamorakian to like, I don't know, maybe like Saradomin or Gothixian or something like that. Of like almost like God hop, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of go through the campaign of like what starts the God Wars, and then maybe you have like the moral, I guess like the moral crossroads of like, do we just continue and like destroy the whole world because like Zaros and the other gods? Or do we try to like maybe stop the Zamorak dude? Maybe just maybe a little bit.
That's what D&D is all about. It's all about conflict and like making choices that might be the wrong choice, but it's ultimately the one you came up with. So
yeah, the God Wars last for so long though that it's very hard to be like, oh, we'll just condense this into a campaign. Like this shit is thousands of years people are fighting. Maybe a little subplot campaign to bring it back to Mauritania would be you get to fight alongside the Barrows brothers.
Oh.
And maybe one of your choices is whether or not to take the blessing from Slisky to become immortal.
Wow.
And storm Castle Draken or whatever. Maybe you have to help them liberate that area as part of your campaign growth. You're moving with these like Saradominus mercenaries, whatever. Huh. There's a lot of potential for a lore whore like myself with this. What items would you like to see brought in, Michael?
Into D&D specifically, I feel like the Dragon Warhammer would be kind of a fun thing to play around with because it can be used as an actual weapon very effectively, right? Warhammers are good.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon tier in D&D would probably be good, you know? It'd probably be like a +3, I don't know, magic weapon. But the special attack, balancing wise, I don't know how you would do it. Maybe it could lower your opponent's AC for one cycle. So like if you actually hit them, then a percentage of the hit could be halved. I don't know how you would balance it. Like if you hit like a 4d10 or something, that's potentially 40 damage. 1% of that is 4. So half of 4 is 2. So you could lower their AC by 2 on a max hit. So it could be lower your AC by whatever the max hit or 1 to be the lowest. It would take a lot of balancing, but lowering AC is kind of the thing that you're doing when you do a Dragon Warhammer special attack. You take down their defensive stats. So that would be cool. I would love to see that. If somebody can work that in, I would play with it and I would use it.
And now this is where Michael and I switch because I could talk to you day and night about RuneScape lore, but I don't know most of the words that he just said other than Dragon Warhammer.
Oh, nice. You didn't.
I think AC is equivalent to like how frequently you can get hit. I don't
So,
know. I've played 2 games of D&D,
let me remind
both of which are on Spotify if you want to check them out.
Patreon?
Well, no, the Dorks and Daggers ones,
yeah.
but also, yes, we did do those for Patreon. I forgot about those. I played 4 games of D&D with
All
basically
recorded.
the exact same people, all recorded, all RuneScape themed.
So AC is the number the other person has to roll to be able to hit you. So if I want to attack a goblin, their AC is probably like 10. So I roll my D20, that's the attack roll, and I roll a 10 or higher on the dice, I pass their AC. And it's called armor class. So
yeah,
if you roll to hit their AC, if you lowered your opponent's AC, it just makes it easier because more numbers are available to be able to hit them. So if your AC is 20, you have to have like an 18 plus whatever or a 17 plus whatever to be able to hit them. And then after your damage or after your attack roll is your damage roll, and that's when you roll like a 1d8, 2d10, whatever your weapon calls for to actually calculate how much you hit them. So that's what AC is.
Then in that case, we're going to go with the AC vein, and we're going to pick armor sets. 2 in particular that I'm thinking would be pretty cool to see. Both kind of literally, I think, a yin and yang of one another, which is pretty neat. Kind of following with like the whole Mauritania conquest story. The first set, if you get all 3 pieces, right? It can't just be like one piece of armor does it. So all 3 pieces of the Justiciar armor set will increase your AC by like 5.
Okay.
I don't know what that means numbers wise, but like them, it'll increase it by 5. So you're a lot tankier and a lot harder to hit. Yeah. With the offensive end of it being, if you obtain all 3 pieces of the Inquisitor armor set, you get like a +5 to any attack roll.
Oh, there you go.
Get. So you have a much higher chance to hit. I know that's not how Inquisitor works with most things. I know like you get like a boost for like crush attack bonuses, but as far as like D&D is concerned, I don't know what it's like to like wear armor. Like we never did anything armor or gear wise with our characters in D&D.
Really,
so
which
as far
is sad.
as like how that works, I mean, even if it's just like if you never change your armor, maybe it's just like a passive unlock. Oh, like congratulations, you found your 3rd piece of, Inquisitor armor by killing this vampire or this Icene or whatever you killed to get it. Now you have like a permanent +5 boost for your attack rolls with like melee attacks or something like that. I don't know. Maybe there's potential. Maybe the +5 is only with melee or ranged attacks, but maybe it's like a -3 if it's like a magical based attack. So maybe there's some sort of balance there. I don't know. But like, and then the Inquisitor doesn't work if you're doing like magic things. So if the Warlock gets the Inquisitor, that's kind of useless. But like,
I'd be interested to see like if you could work in sort of like set effects. Like you're talking about if you have all 3, you would get a +5. But I'm thinking there's a spell called Shield. You have to stock it as a spell. I'm thinking it would be cool if you were wearing the entire set of Justiciar, that now Shield becomes a cantrip. And you can just be casting Shield every time, whether you do or not. Cool. But Shield boosts your AC by like 2 for 1 round. But again, it's one of those things that you have to use it sparingly because you're taking up spell slots to use it. Now, if Shield is already a cantrip, then I look like an idiot. So I haven't looked that up. So I don't think it's a cantrip.
The only cantrip I know of is whatever that
Eldritch
OP
Blast.
Fire Blast thing, Eldritch Blast. That's the only cantrip I know because I don't think I used many other cantrips. That opens up a whole world of like for set effects. Like if you get all 3 pieces of ancestral gear, you just get more spell slots.
Yeah,
here's 2 extra
that
spell slots because you have full ancestral. That I don't know. I've never played anything that uses range-based attacks. I've played a ranger, which turns out are not archers. It's not the same thing in D&D.
Ranger is like
confusing.
Aragon from Oregon.
Yep, that's how you explained it to me the last time. I've never seen anyone use a bow ever in D&D. No, I don't know if they even exist in Dungeons and Dragons. But maybe you could do something similar for like Armadillo. Maybe Torva has something where like you get a plus like D6, like whatever your attack is, plus an additional D6 if you have all three pieces of Torva for like your damage modifier. There's a lot of cool things you can do with armor sets if you base it off that, because a lot of these armor sets do cool things. Because RuneScape is basically D&D, where defense is your AC, attack is your
Like, and
attack
strength.
roll, and strength is your damage roll.
That's very
Like,
true.
That's basically all it
Yep.
is. But that's a fun question.
Thank you so much. Who farted? Hoof hearted. I don't know. Message us if you're in the Discord or you're in the clan, because I don't recognize that name. But thank you so much for the postcard. Appreciate that a lot, and for the fun question. That being said, if you send us a postcard to the PO box, there's a guarantee we'll read the fun question on there. So if we get a bunch, we'll have to spread them out. But we may do like a quick fire. If we have like 5 postcards come in one time,
we'll just do like a fun question episode.
Yeah.
That'll be the whole. We'll just get shitty drunk on gnome cocktails again.
Wow.
And read postcard after postcard.
Episode
of fun
69
questions.
coming up.
So all right, so folks, episode 69 is in 3 weeks.
Oh, you're gonna be
There's mad potential.
out of town.
No, son of a bitch! I will be out of town.
No.
Damn it! I'm not going to be here for. We're canceling the trip.
Take another week
Oh
off.
my god! I'm gonna tell you right now. If you do not open that
66,
episode
67,
with
67.
"Welcome back to Xpwaste," where nice, I'm gonna scream.
That's
If
exactly.
I listen to episode 69 and I don't, it's not just nice. I'm gonna fly back and beat your ass. I don't care what country I'm in, because I'm gonna be pissed.
When do you come back? Do you remember?
The 26th, but realistically won't be back in my recording area until maybe
August
the
something like
27th, 28th.
Well, then,
like,
damn son. We're not
I
gonna be
know,
able to do it.
I know, I know. Episode 68,
68.5. There we go. It's like a 30-minute episode. It's just me talking to myself. Potential.
Potential, yeah. This week has been fun. You got anything else for us, Michael? I think we're good.
That's it for me.
Right. All right. Well, then with that, it's time for me to promote again, because I had the intro, which means I have all the promotion. So Michael's gonna bite a towel and try not to say anything while I stumble through this. So if you guys liked what you listened to, give us a subscribe, a like, a follow on whatever respective platform, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. You guys are all awesome. If you'd like to see us other places, there's a link tree in this description of this here episode as well, where you can check us out on Twitter, TikTok, Discord, not Facebook. And you can also see Michael and I's Twitch channels, because Michael's been streaming more, and I stream on rare occasion.
Come through
at Michael and his Twitch, and tell him nice nothing redeem. Very original.
I changed it last night.
To
Get
what?
that bread, gamer. And then
Oh
I
my
say,
God.
and then when they redeem, I say, get that bread, gamer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, at least it's not a cold-hearted ripoff.
Outdated.
Yeah, like I know I said it in the link tree, but join our Discord. It's very cool over there. We are planning a skill of the week soon, hopefully, because we've not really done much of anything event-wise coming up. I know one of our higher ranking members of the clan is talking some sort of fun summer bingo, so we'll wait and see what she has planned for that, and then we'll get that information out to you guys. If you want to support the show financially, head over to patreon.com/xpwaste to get a good line on all the cool Patreon benefits, like the recording booth chat, the extra episode, and chip away at that Michael Oxie matching tattoo goal. And then finally, we do have merch. Head over to xpwaste.shop to check out all the various merch that will be being in the store. Hopefully we'll have new designs soon, because that was one of the things Michael and I talked about in our little business meeting we had in place of last week's episode. So we've got some things working. We've got some things talking right now. So expect some new designs. I'm going to say by the end of summer, because we don't actually have any concrete dates. So hopefully there'll be some new stuff by the time summer's over.
So it would be really cool if whatever tattoo design we actually get, we turned it into a shirt. So you guys can rock it as well.
Okay. We can all have matching tattoos as a family.
Arguably, it's easier to get matching T-shirts, but I've always wanted. I've
No,
wanted an
that's
X.
lame. Maybe we'll get like matching stickers. People can like stick them on their
Oh, we
body.
can't
and
put
shit.
stickers in there
I think
too.
that would be super
Right
cool.
on,
Yeah.
right on.
So that's all right. That's got potential. Once we finalize the design, there will definitely be something
Hell
up by
yeah.
August. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in for this rather controversial client-based episode.
Mhm.
Although it's not that controversial. They banned cheap clients. Whoop-de-doo. We'll see you guys next week. Yeah. Will I see you next week? Let me look at the dates here. I think I'll see you next week.
Yeah. You leave on,
But then I won't see you after that for a little
Yeah,
while.
we'll miss you.
All right. I know. What are you going to do without me? All right, guys.
Bye.
See y'all later. Bye.